Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is on how I got into writing. So let's start. Or why did I get into writing, as well as how. I really wasn't into writing because I hated technical writing in school until the first person who really got me into writing was my sixth grade teacher, who was a special education teacher, because I suck at technical writing and I'm not the greatest at grammar in some cases. And what he taught was the basics of grammar, verbs, nouns, adverbs, prepositions, all that fun stuff. And one thing he pushed was us to write our own stories. And I think everybody in the class had a finished story by the end of the year, except for me, because I just could not finish my story because I wanted to write a novel. And yeah, it never has been finished. Still to this day, I've never finished that story, and chunks of it are going to be taken out and revised and moved into different stories and things like that. And it really helped me grow as a writer, though, to really understand my love of the written word. I do plan on writing that story eventually as a book series. I just don't know when it'll come up in my stories because I think it's going to end up being a 6-part series, maybe even longer, I'm not sure, of the love story of Fire and Ice. Minus the vampires, because at the time I was obsessed with vampires. Twilight had come out, and I loved Anne Rice books at the time, which I still love her work, but that was a big thing for me at the time, and a bunch of other vampire stuff was going on during that big boom of the vampires. So I wanted to write about vampires. But that's just one too many magical systems for that story. I may write a vampire story later down the road too. But when it comes to the Fire and Ice series, which I hopefully will write eventually, sorry, I have a little bit of gas from drinking coffee. I plan on writing those books eventually. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Let's see. So that was the first person who really got me into writing, was my sixth grade special education teacher. Next in high school, there were two people who really got me into writing. One was a creative writing club advisor slash language arts teacher. And the next was a special education teacher, because I was still in special education at that time. And the writing teacher really seemed to like at least my ethic of work. I don't know if he liked my work at all, because he tended to like horror and I write romance. And as for my special education teacher, she tended to push me into other places, which I think was good for me to learn about different things. One thing she pushed me into was becoming a CNA. And I really enjoyed the course. It's just working with people. I'm a very shy person, so being a nurse or a CNA, you're out there working your butt off with people. You're helping them to the point of showering them and helping them go to the bathroom. It's pretty awkward. And it's a lot of work. And I have so much respect for them, and I know how hard it is. Another thing I learned, because she pushed me in directions since she realized I wasn't going to be a CNA, is how to take care of plants and do flower arrangements. Because those were things that my school also offered for classes for juniors and seniors. And I just could not get over my love of writing. It wouldn't go away. I tried CNA classes, I tried plant classes, I tried fashion classes and business classes and things, and nothing really got over my love of writing. I do love fashion. I probably can't tell from how I dress and how I do my makeup and everything, but I do love fashion, and that was another path I debated about going down, and I went that direction in college. But yet again, it just didn't stick. I'm not into fashion that's everyday wear. I'm into cosplay and Lolita, which is like very Victorian style, and steampunk, which is like turn of the century Victorian meets a little bit of sci-fi, and steampunk, which is like gears and copper colors and browns and just really fun fashion, not your run-of-the-mill fashion that you see every day, basically. I want something that'll be eye-catching. So those two people opened my eyes to different things. One just helped me continue my love of writing, and one opened my eyes to other pathways that I could take. And I admire her for it, and I admire him for still keeping my love of writing. So those two people were the next two people. And then the last person who really got me into writing, at least so far in my life, I may find more people as I grow and find more people to befriend and work with and everything. I'm only 27, so there's still a long way to go, I hope. And is my boyfriend, who works as an editor and also a game designer and also is a writer himself, and was the person who came up with us writing the more adult content to make money. It was a joke originally until we both decided let's try it. And I had already started putting some adult content in my books. I've always been a minorly sexually person. I think it's because of my exposure as a child. Not the greatest exposure, but I think that it's my head. It's just how it is. I was exposed as a child from this, that, and the other, good and bad. And so I've had a minor understanding of sex since I was little. And like I said, sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. I just have that in my brain. I don't know why. It's just how it is. So we write under a pen name, and I love that work. We still write under it. It's been 5 to 7 years since we've been working on it. We need to get the pen name back up more. But the fact is I want to make a name for myself too. And not just live under the shadow of a pen name my whole life. So, yeah. That's why I've been writing novels, and it's a hard work. It's a hard work. That's not good language. Now me. Why do I keep writing? Well, I love how it feels to get ideas on a page and see how much work I can get done in a day. It's really cool when you think you're only good at 500 words, and then you look down at your document and you've gotten like 2,000 to 3,000 words down, and it's like, wow, I did that. But on the flip side, editing really gets my head fuzzy, especially that work you have to do before you send it to your editor, which is what I'm doing with my first novel, is the expansion editing, and I've gotten to the hard part of it where it needs a lot of work, and I just have to keep working at it. There are so many fun things I love about writing, such as, like I said, getting the ideas on the page and seeing your page count. But there are so many things that I need to get the hang of too. And it still needs a lot of work. I plan on going to college for writing, just so I can work on my plot and my character arcs and everything, as well as just my basic grammar and all that, just because I'm still very sucky at that. You could probably tell by my language. And yeah, that's how I got into writing. And I plan on eventually, hopefully, being a published author under my actual name and not just my pen name. But we'll see. Thank you for watching this video, and bye-bye. Like and subscribe if you like my content.